see it. Spacer in there. So I'm going to talk about some more. Right there. Focus. There we go. That little piece. Right there. Looks at the throttle body spacer. To the throttle. The gas pedal cord. That's an extension. It's like an S piece. It just slides in there. Connects. Basically brings your gas pedal cable forward. Accelerator, whatever you want to call it. This is a 1 inch, or I think 1 1/4 inch. Should be an inch. Throttle body spacer. And I'm going to get more onto that. I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm trying to be a little quieter. I do have the 3.7 liter V6. And yes, this is a 2002 Ram 1500, Dodge Ram 1500. Yeah, I'm gonna, later on, I'll get back with you on the cold air intake I'm installing too. So let me pause real quick. So this is the throttle body spacer I use. Ignore this. All this is a lie. Don't believe that. If you're not pairing it with a cold air intake, it's not even worth putting it on a vehicle. Unless, which I learned from a friend of mine who works on airplanes, it's running a carburetor. That's what these were originally for. Don't believe all that other crap people tell you. Trust me. But the only reason I put it on mine is because mine's a little bit of an older vehicle. And if you combine it with something like a cold air intake, it will help with your torque throttle response. But you have to combo it. If you don't combo it, it just, no, don't. A lot of people, they say, oh man, yeah, no, you don't need all that. Just, if you do it by itself, it's like the equivalent of just doing a cold air intake by itself. But the difference is, cold air intake by itself actually helps a little bit. But it's usually good to pair a cold air intake with an exhaust. Usually a full exhaust system. I'm going to be doing updates on this, the cold air intake, and I'm going to be doing shorty headers and a full exhaust build with a cap back. So, but no, I just wanted to, I'm not showing how to build it because it was such a pain in the butt to put together. All those people, they do jump cuts in their little videos and everything. That it's a lot more to it, especially if you're someone like me who's just starting out on vehicles. It's not something to, it's not real, what's the word? I don't know how you put it, but it's not scary or anything like that. It's not hard to do. It just was for me because of my vehicle and the build. So it shouldn't sway you from doing what you want to do, But, yeah. It's, I tested it out a little bit. It's definitely not what you think. You're not going to get, like this says 22 horse. No, it doesn't do anything like that. Now that torque, that's close, but it's more like 10. It's more like 10 pounds of torque, if anything. It does ride smoother though. I will say that for an older truck, it actually helps with the gas pedal, the feel, and it has tightened it up a little bit. I prefer a little bit of a tighter pedal, just because, it's a little smoother to drive. The drive is a little bit nicer. I did feel a little bit more of throttle response, but not a whole lot to, be doing pulls or, racing people from stop signs like where I live. But, don't believe this crap, but this can in some ways help you. And the reason I'm doing a lot of talking, this isn't a build video or anything like that, so don't, well, you know how YouTube is, but this isn't a build video, this is just a review. This is a word by word, play by play. The reason I'm telling you all this now, if you want to believe it, believe it. If you don't, you don't. I don't care. I'm trying to help you because this right here, oh, and this improves gas mileage. You might get like 1 mile extra. It's not a whole lot. Now, if you had a cold air intake with it, then yes, you might see a little bit of a difference. But I'm telling you this because I didn't see any videos for my make of vehicle that I could find for this specific throttle body spacer. So that's why I'm doing this. I'm not ragging on it or anything. I'm just setting it straight. I'm just telling you what I know. Again, if you want to believe it, you can believe it. If you don't, you don't. I don't care. But if you are trying to do, if you do want to up your, throttle response a little bit, or if you're just trying to do like a little practical build, nothing too, not like a hot rod or anything, just to be clear, this is for my truck. So this is just so I can, it'll ride a little bit smoother. I just wanted to, just a little bit more oomph in my vehicle. Not nitrous or anything crazy like that. I'm not doing anything like that. I am going to be doing the exhaust, headers, that kind of thing. But other than that, nothing too crazy. And the main reason I'm doing that is I do a lot of pulling, and I do load things into my bed, very heavy things, and I am going to be doing the tires and stuff like that. So I want to accommodate for that power loss when I do have something heavy in the vehicle. I just want it to have a little bit more oomph. I know that sounds kind of weird. I know some of the more senior people with truck handling might disagree, some may agree, but the guy I work with, he did, he does a lot of pulling himself, so I am going to be doing another pull programmer. I don't know if I'm going to be doing Bully Dog. I'm not doing the Jet. I might do, I don't remember the name of it at the moment, but yeah. Oh, one other thing I wanted to mention. When you just have this alone, what this does on these fuel-injected vehicles, the reason it's different on a carburetor vehicle is because this will actually help more with a carburetor vehicle, which they don't even make anymore. I have a fuel-injected vehicle. The only thing this is going to help with, like I said, is throttle response. And just a small amount of torque, not anything crazy. What it really does, is it just builds up more of a volume of air to be pushed through, depending on how hard you push the pedal. At least that's somewhat of an understanding. I don't know if I'm wrong, correct me. I like to be humbled because I learned from it, like today. So, yeah. Sorry this was so long-winded, but this is the Taylor Helix. The Power Tower, yeah, whatever. I just call it a throttle body spacer by Taylor Helix. It was, I paid $90 for it. I would say it was a little bit overpriced, but you get what you pay for. It definitely does tune your, it's good for your throttle. A little bit of torque. No crazy horsepower or anything like that, they say. Now, if paired with a cold air intake, that's a different story. Then you might actually feel or see some kind of a difference. But even then, unless you got a programmer along with it, you're not going to see a whole, big difference. You will feel a difference, just not like you would expect. And I know this is long-winded, but I just want to explain this. It's a review of the Taylor Helix Power Tower. I'm not showing how to build it. Again, I'm learning how to put vehicles together. I'm a bit of a beginner, so, I don't want to, tried to show it earlier. I have one last thing to say. The extender bracket, the spacer bracket that brings the throttle forward, it just slides in and out. And if you put it together, you'll know what I mean. And for some weird reason, you can put the bolts in from the back or the front. I did it from the back just because it was a little better. And a good tip, you may want to use some red Loctite, but don't put it on the entire thread. Just, you know, run your screws in there, but not all the way, and just kind of dab it on the end there a little bit. Because all that vibration, because I know, especially with my vehicle, you know, you don't want your throttle cable and that bracket to just come loose, you know, because then the whole thing will just, you know, yeah, it's not going to be pretty. But, yeah, this is, you know, I would give it a 3 or, yeah, you know, I give it a 3.5 out of 5. It does what it says, but it doesn't. Like this is all false advertising. Don't pay attention to that. But if you do your research and you know your knowledge of cold air intakes, throttle body spacers, you know, everything else you want to do to your vehicle, especially if you're trying to do something like I'm doing, where you're doing something with your exhaust, you're doing a complete rebuild, because my truck is pretty old. It's like a garage find. One-time owner, old man had it, didn't take very good care of it. So, and it's from 2002. Literally, some of the stuff on that vehicle has never been changed. So, I am gonna be doing some update videos on my truck. I'm getting it painted too, but that's a much later date. And you know how it is, summertime down here, so yeah, we'll see how it goes. So yeah, y'all take care, stay safe out there. All right, have a good one.